I never thought a rusted-out army tractor would start a war, but here we are. You know, some folks have their prized horses or classic cars parked out front. Me, I had this hulk of faded olive metal, cracked vinyl seat, dented grill, sitting stubbornly near the turnoff to my main hangar for over a decade. I dragged that beast home myself after Fort Hood, back when my back was stronger and my hair a little darker, craned it onto a flatbed like some war relic, because it was a monument on 4 flat tires to a life before all this mess. No engine, no use, just standing sentry. And I liked it that way. Never imagined anyone would give a damn. Least of all, the kind of people who get upset about how your grass grows. But my property, see, isn't just a patch of land. It's 180 acres of North Texas red dirt and cedar, old ranch house creaking in the wind, prefab hangars I lease out to mechanics and tinkerers, a stretch of rutted dirt road winding more than a mile through my family's land. A route the county themselves marked down as the Weston easement back when my father was alive, surveyed and stamped, official as it gets. My family's legacy runs in those ridges. It's on paper, too. Mine, ever since Dad passed. 5 years ago, feeling generous, I struck a deal with the Sage Hills Estates HOA. They're that cluster of fancy houses down the ridge, always begging the county for a better way in. Problem is, nature never cared about their property values, so the only paved entrance kept washing out every time it rained. Meanwhile, my road ran smooth as you please right up to their rear gate. So we signed papers. They got to use my easement, I got peace and quiet. No cash exchanged. No drama. Just a handshake and some formal language. Worked fine, until she showed up. Karen Avery moved into Sage Hills about 6 months ago, and within 3, she'd muscled her way into the HOA presidency. Maybe she charmed the board, maybe she threatened to revoke their pool passes. I honestly don't care. But everything changed overnight. First came the friendly reminder letters about community standards and visual presentation. I tossed them. Then the certified mail started arriving, all official-like, with my name spelled out in bold at the top. Violation notice, derelict equipment presence, visual pollution. Apparently, my tractor was a crime against aesthetics, and I owed $1,200 for the privilege of offending her sensibilities. At first, I laughed, thought it was a prank. Called the office. The woman on the line was all sugar and static, repeating that the tractor constitutes visual influence on the shared access corridor under our updated policy. I cut her off. My road, my tractor, my problem. She cleared her throat, like she'd practiced this speech in front of a mirror. The HOA reserves the right to enforce community standards, and right then, I knew Karen wasn't making a mistake. She was drawing battle lines. 2 days later, another letter showed up, this time with aerial drone photos of my yard and barn, shot from above, high-res, zoomed in, everything. I sat on the porch, coffee cooling in my hand, staring at that photo like the tractor itself had betrayed me. The old anger I'd buried since Dad's funeral woke right up. That kind of anger that doesn't explode, just settles in your bones. I wasn't going to let this go. Next morning, I dug out the easement agreement, every page notarized, scanned, locked away since 2019. Section 7, subsection C, revocation of access in case of interference. Plain as day. Should any member of Sage Hills HOA interfere with the operations or autonomy of Weston Ranch, the grantor may immediately revoke access. Simple. Bulletproof. So I called Jennifer. She's been my lawyer since the great hangar lease battle. Sharp as a nail, zero patience for bullies. I laid out the whole mess, and after 1 or 2 dry jokes about HOAs on a power trip, she said, "You want to flip the switch?" 48 hours later, we sent the revocation notice by every method short of carrier pigeon. By the time the Sage Hills board read their morning emails, my crew was already out front, welding a heavy-duty gate and posting new signs. Big letters, private road. No HOA access. Trespassers will be prosecuted. Date stamped, clear as day. Within hours, the panic started. Delivery trucks got turned away, forced to navigate the rocky, unmaintained backup road. Sage Hills Facebook exploded with outrage. Some guy named Rutledge emailed me, demanding I restore the shared access immediately. I wrote back, private road. End of conversation. By Thursday, I watched Karen herself roll up in her Lexus, pearls and all, punching random numbers into the keypad like she was defusing a bomb. The denied beep echoed off the trees. She stood there, fuming, took a photo, and drove off. But I wasn't done. I had trail cam footage of the drone crossing my property line, plain evidence. Sent it to Jennifer. Her reply, "We're building a file." Meanwhile, every time the HOA poked around the new gate, I just watched from my porch, coffee in hand, letting them stew. Rain came, and the alternate road turned to mud. Amazon stopped delivering. Residents' cars started bottoming out on rocks. You could feel the pressure shifting, right onto Karen's shoulders, just like I wanted. By Friday, the county sheriff rolled up with Karen in tow, HOA decals on her SUV like she was running for office. Deputy Henson, a big, sunburned guy who once helped me round up a wild hog, took everything in stride. Karen was in full attack mode, waving her arms, demanding arrests, calling my gate illegal barricade trapping 28 families. I handed over the deed, the agreement, and the revocation letter. Henson flipped through, nodded, then told Karen unless she had a court order, there was nothing he could do. She threatened to call the mayor, the governor, maybe the president for all I know. Henson just smiled, told her to take it up in civil court. By sunset, local news was parked outside my gate, filming for the evening drama slot. HOA war over tractor blocks access for families. That sort of nonsense. I ignored it, but Sage Hill's Facebook group was a dumpster fire. Residents wanted Karen out. Some blamed me, some blamed her, but everyone was mad. The next twist? A private call from Michael Crane, an HOA board member. "Come, careful. Look, Clint, most of us never voted on the fine. Karen's running wild. You've got leverage. Maybe just don't burn the bridge." I told him straight, should have thought of that before flying drones over my barn. That night, I watched headlights line up at the locked gate, folks glaring at me from the far side, but I didn't lose a wink of sleep. Then came the sneaking around. Late Sunday, my security lights tripped, caught two figures filming my new gate, poking around the keypad. I didn't bother with the sheriff. Just saved the footage, upgraded the cameras, and added new signs. Area under video surveillance, 24/7. That Monday, I called Bob, old Army buddy, recon specialist, tougher than nails. By nightfall, he'd set up camp in my old grain silo, watching for trouble with a thermal scope that probably cost more than my pickup. We weren't looking for a fight, just making it clear, not 1 inch. Karen kept up the pressure, county letters about public safety hazards, zoning complaints, environmental nonsense. Jennifer knocked them down, one after the other, with paperwork and barely concealed sarcasm. But Karen wasn't stopping. She brought out surveyors. Well, actors with a measuring wheel and clipboard, snuck them up the livestock trail. Bob caught them on camera. We sent the photos to Jennifer and Michael Crane with a warning. One more trespass, and we sue everyone, personally. Luis, my hangar tenant, told me some HOA folks tried to film through the fence while he was working. So I put up a new sign. Unauthorized entry or recording equals trespass. Violators will be prosecuted and publicly shamed. Then, to drive the point home, I made a metal sign in Sage Hill's colors. "Welcome to Weston Ranch, where HOA comes to die." The next morning, someone threw eggs at it. Karen's plates on the footage, if you can believe it. But the real climax came at 2 a.m. when the emergency alert tripped for the creek path. I caught 2 trucks, a flatbed and an HOA-marked SUV, sneaking through the ravine with a load of gravel and a gate in parts, trying to build their own dam entrance. Karen herself, boots and reflective vest, barking orders. The bridge gave way under the first truck, dropped it right into the mud. The SUV nearly went after it, horn blaring in the dark. I recorded the whole mess, then called the sheriff. Henson showed up with backup and the county environmental officer. See, that creek's a protected waterway. Karen's shortcut was a violation, and by noon, she was facing fines and civil penalties. I didn't press charges yet, but Jennifer filed for a restraining order, backed by footage of the failed construction, drone overflights, and Karen waving a ruined clipboard like a battle flag. By Tuesday, the court granted the order. Karen looked ready to bite through her pearls. Michael Crane caught me in the hallway. "You know, this could all end if she apologized." I just laughed. At this point, I'd build a new mountain range before I'd listen to her say sorry. The press got wind. Local news made a hero out of the tractor guy. Online, Karen became a meme. Her, yelling, "He owns the whole damn road." It hit TikTok, even Spotify, and for about a week, my phone wouldn't stop buzzing with messages, some cheering, some cursing. But I wasn't celebrating. I reinforced the road, filed new claims for damages, let Jennifer dig through years of HOA violations. Meanwhile, Karen sent a creepy letter, my ranch marked with red XS, a printout tucked inside. Bob just shook his head. She's lost control. Karen wasn't done. She called the fire marshal on me. Anonymous tip about flammable storage. The marshal laughed, said I had better safety than most stations, but it was clear Karen's game was to harass, delay, provoke. Jennifer sent cease and desist letters, started prepping a defamation case. Then the HOA board meeting. Audio leaked by someone, maybe Michael. Karen's voice shouting over residents demanding her resignation. For board members quit, half the neighborhood signed petitions to remove her. The rest just wanted out of the mud. The last drone they sent crashed on my paved road. I boxed it up with tractor grease and chicken feathers, shipped it back, no note. When court day came, Jennifer destroyed them, showed the contract, the drone footage, the illegal construction. Karen's lawyer tried to paint me as a grudge holder. Jennifer just read the agreement, and when the judge heard audio of Karen sneering, "We're not letting some backwoods tractor freak tell us what this community should look like," that was it. The room went quiet. The judge ruled for me. All claims. Easement terminated, $280,000 in damages from Karen personally, another $50,000 from the HOA. Restraining orders, public apologies, everything. Karen left the courtroom looking like someone ran over her dog. Michael Crane tried to apologize. I told him, this was on Karen. The HOA collapsed. Some wanted to dissolve it outright. Others wanted a full audit, and a few just wanted a way home that didn't need four-wheel drive. The gate stayed locked. The new road they needed would cost them millions, take years. My old tractor, newly painted, got a sign next to it. This tractor beat your ego. Now walk the hill. It became a tourist spot. Reporters showed up. I never gave them interviews, just tea and a smile. Rumor was Karen had to sell her Austin condo to pay the damages. She vanished. Michael resigned. A new board tried to renegotiate, offered stipends, oversight, promises. I declined. Some lessons need to stick. Now, when I see an old couple hauling groceries up the hill, I give them a lift. One teenager even interviewed me for her civics class. I told her, land is more than paperwork. It's blood, sweat, standing firm when the world says compromise. Out here, you learn. Paper crumbles, but principle holds. Funny thing, ownership. Karen thought it meant committee votes, fancy bylaws. I know better. Ownership is standing on your own 2 feet when the whole damn neighborhood lines up against you, and walking away with your road still yours. So what do you think? Was I right to stand my ground, or was it just stubborn pride? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because out here, every opinion counts, and every road tells a story.